Hi, my name is Peter Hand, and I work for Virtue Worldwide, which is a creative services agency by Vice Media. I think the most important thing I realized is growing up and sort of going through the schooling that I did, I really focused on knowledge and trying to really be like the smartest person in the room. I think I was a bit insecure at the time, and I think as I got a bit older I realized it really doesn't matter how smart you are necessarily. I think one of the skills you should really focus on is working with people, managing people, and developing strong professional relationships. Constructive professional relationships. That was really eye-opening to me, and I think is a massively underappreciated skill in marketing and advertising. Yeah. Be a bit more deliberate in my actions, but at the same time, I don't know, I kind of had a very interesting, like, scattered career and worked a little bit in the sciences, a little bit in the arts before landing in advertising, and that actually, even though it was a bit exhausting, kind of worked out for me. So I would maybe just tell him to think a bit more before he leaped, but. Well, I think it's really important for students to be exposed to professionals. I know that in my own experience going through university, I had a really hard time understanding what is actually out there when you graduate. Great, I have a degree, but what can I really do with those skills? What does the business landscape look like? In our case, the marketing landscape. And it's really confusing and complex even when you're in it. So I can see that being really intimidating and overwhelming for students who don't necessarily know where to go. But I think having a conference like this can really help them get that sort of step up in figuring out where they should start and where they can explore professionally. It's a tough question. Maybe I'd have dinner with my late grandfather on my father's side. Because I never really got to know him. I sort of remember him in sort of glimpses and memories, and I sort of built this really interesting mythology around him in my head. And I just want to sit down, take him to dinner, and just get to know what he was really about. You know what? I won't recommend anything like boring and like professional, because I think if you want to work in a creative field, if you want to work in a marketing field, you really have to understand what's going on in like new media and just sort of what's happening at a cultural level. I would tell people, as a person who listens to far too much SoundCloud rap, I would say spend a lot more time on SoundCloud, because there's some really weird stuff happening on there that's pretty great. As far as podcasts, I've been listening a lot recently to a podcast called How Did This Get Made, which is sort of like group comedians reviewing awful films. So that's really funny and interesting.